Okay, so sorry about that for a second here. I just got the second video up and ready to roll here. The next part of this, so we've created this first part of this with all the images, right, in the first part of the video. So the second video is actually on adding animations and transitions onto this. So animations are when we can take text and make it fly in. A transition is when we make one slide to the next slide do something fun. So if we click on this one, we can go up here to transitions, and we can say fade it. So we can say we want it to fade in and out, or we want it to push. We want it to look like that. We can do all sorts of fun ones. We can do even a vortex. Like look at this when it actually plays. It looks interesting. It's things that are fun. All of these, there's a whole bunch of different options, okay? So there's all sorts of different options. And each one of these has their own unique little personality, right? So the duration is how long it takes that transition to run. So from start to finish, this one takes 4 minutes and 40 seconds, right? So I can actually reduce this down by clicking on this button or even just typing it in. So if I hit the honeycomb again, it's going to go a lot faster because it's going to say I want it done in 2 minutes and 60 seconds, okay? We can also add sounds to this. They're not really that crazy. If you're interested in sounds, you can certainly do sounds, okay? So what I am going to have, and then on this one, it says, I want you to advance the slide. So it's saying, I want you to go to the next slide when I click a button. So when you click a button, it's going to say, go to the next slide. Now, when we get into the music videos, that's when we're going to start going, I want you to advance the slide after so many seconds, okay? And we'll get more into this when we get into the music videos and talking about that. But right now, it's always just on mouse click. It's an easy way to do it. Now, we can do apply to all slides. We can say, I want you to apply this to all slides. So that when I go to this one, when I'm actually presenting it, it should do the vortex thing again. Now, I want you to do something fun. I want you to try to do a different one for each one of these. And all you need to do is go to the next one, click a different one, go to the next one, be creative. Look at this box one. It's an interesting little box. Takes a box and like rotates it around, okay? So these are transitions. These are the way that we move from one slide to the next. So the first one, I did this. You also have effect options, which is saying, do you want it to move this way? Do you want it to move that way? Which way are you wanting that effect to roll? Duration is how long it takes that transition to go from start to finish to go to the next slide. On mouse click is saying when should I actually go to the next one, and then you can apply it to all slides. But I do not want you to do that now. I don't want you to apply it to all slides, because if you apply it to all slides, you no longer make this fun. We want to make sure that we keep everything really fun. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to this first slide, Aurora College one. This one we cannot animate the text. It was like a picture that was inserted in. So we're just going to leave this one. Don't worry about animating the text. I want you to go to this second slide though now, okay? And when we go to animations, it brings on this whole new level of playing field, okay? So it says entrance effects. So these are things like, how do you want this text to come in, okay? So you have to be clicked on something, and if I say I want you to fade in that text right there, I can do that. I can say fade it in. Now, this number is what order it's actually going to be happening in, okay? And I'll talk to you a little bit about how to edit that order, okay? So it's saying I want you to fade in at that. Now, I can change these. I can change them all to look different, right? Okay, now the other thing is the emphasis effects. I can say I want you to grow. Look at you grow, like, right? Okay, so we can do things like that where we can make things emphasize, okay? Now, the last thing is I can say I want you to exit really cool. Like you should exit on out when I click you. So we can do exit effects. They're not really necessary to do an exit effect, but some people do like them. I think as soon as you have that up there, it's up there. It should be up there. Okay, now the other thing we can do is we can say, I want you to come in on a path. We can say, I want you to come in on a loop. So we look at it, it goes, yep, okay, that is a loop. Here is the path that it is going on. If we want this loop to be bigger, all we need to do is grab the outside corner and stretch it. And now we can play it again by clicking on this motion. I don't want to play it on mine just because I don't want it to, unfortunately, I'm going to delete both those out of there because if I play it, it'll stop the recording, but you can keep playing them. So, okay, what I want to show you now here, I'm going to do this one really quick. I'm going to do an effect on it. So I'm going to have it grow, okay, grow and twirl. I also want to do an effect on this image, okay? So I'm going to do this image. I'm going to say zoom it or do something fun. How about a spiral in? Perfect. Okay. So now, when I actually play this, it's going to run these in steps. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5. Now, each one of these has been set on click. So they're not going to adjust until the click happens, okay? And then the duration is just like it was in the transitions. It's saying how long does it take for that effect to actually happen. Now, to change any of this, you need to make sure that you're actually selected on the transition. So if I'm selected on this one, it doesn't know which one I want to work on. I need to click on this in order to adjust the entrance effect that I have applied to it. Now, how do I reorder these? So let's say I screwed up and I did the image first, but I want to do the words first, okay? So go over here, there's a quick, easy reorder button, okay? And all you need to do is to drag and drop these. So click on this one. If I want to move 3, all I need to do is move it down by clicking on this button, okay? And if I want to delete one, all I need to do is click that and it deletes it. Click that and it deletes it out. Perfect. So now I only have 3 animations. That's all I wanted to do, okay? So what I want you to do now is I want you to go through this entire PowerPoint. So it's only 6 slides. It is not that much. You're not really doing that much work on it, right? Okay, so I want you to go through this, and then what I want you to do is I want you to create an animation for each one of these elements. So in this one, you'll have an animation for the first, second, and the third. In this one, you will have an animation for your picture, this, and this. This one, you'll have an animation for this title, this picture, and this picture. Okay, get the trend? Now, one last thing is what I want you to do at the bottom here, okay? We're going to do one more element into this. I want you to go to the Home tab. I want to go to New Slide. And this time I want you to do a section header, like that, right there. And I want you to type your name. So I'm just going to put Kronberg in here, right? Okay. And I'm going to delete this second box out. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit delete, okay? And I want you to animate your own name. So go over here to animations, and I want you to make your name the last element in this entire thing. So it starts and it finishes. The last thing that you should have before you submit this to Google Classroom is your name on this last slide, okay? So you are transitioning, you're putting transitions in between every single one of these, okay? How you know if you have a transition is right here along this side. There's a tiny, 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 tiny little thing right here. This says there's a transition applied to this slide, this slide, this slide, and this. You can see where there's transitions applied. Now, if you want to know, have I applied animations to this one yet? Just click on it. You can see 1, 2, and 3. And you can also see over here there's a little star. That means there's animations on it, okay? So go ahead and make sure that you always have those open. And then last thing that you need to do before you submit is you need to preview it. So down here is this little slideshow presenter guy. Click this button down here to preview it. You can look through your slide and then hit escape when you're all done, save it, and upload it to Google Classroom under the Chapter 4 PowerPoint exercise, okay? That's it. Have a great day.